Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Brought to you today by the excellent app Flick. You can download the app. The app is available for free in the description. You can really get involved with the show by using the app. We did a poll on the show yesterday and I asked the question, who was your man of the match from the Arsenal game on Saturday? 3% of you said Aubameyang, 9% of you said Eddie Nketiah, 22% said Saka, 12% went for Lacazette, and 55% went for Gabriel, which I agreed with. I thought Gabriel as well also was the man of the match. He was absolutely brilliant in that game. I've got another poll for you coming up on the app today. Remember, it's free. Get involved. We put up lots of information about transfers on it. We have lots of group discussions in it. That's what's really great about it. You can get in there and have lots of group discussions. And I'm going to be going back on it live probably tomorrow night as well, answering all of your questions. One of the questions I'm sure you're going to be asking is all about Lucas Torreira. What is going to happen with him? Left out of the team, the whole squad, as a matter of fact, on Saturday. Definitely looks like Arsenal are going to be selling him. Of course, we've got the Carabao Cup game coming up on Wednesday against Leicester. Very much doubt he'll be in that squad either. It's hotting up now because on the 5th of October, that is when the transfer window closes. And what will be happening with Lucas Torreira? Well, the big talk yesterday that got a lot of fans excited is that Athletico Madrid want to sign him. We've known about Torino and Fiorentina and a host of other clubs over there, AC Milan in Italy, all interested. But now Athletico Madrid have come out and said that they are interested in him. This is according to the Spanish outlet called El Gol Digital. They said that Athletico would are interested in a loan deal for Lucas Torreira with an option to buy. Now, this apparently was turned down immediately by Arsenal. They're not interested in loaning him out. They want cash for Lucas Torreira. Athletico have also been looking at Marc Roca from Espanyol, and they said to be willing to pay around about 50 million euros for him. So it'd be very doubtful that Athletico would want to outlay anything more than the 50 million euros that they were looking to pay for Marc Roca for Lucas Torreira. However, we know already that Arsenal, they're not willing to deal with anything under around about £22 million for Torreira. So lots of sticking points. However, but what does that mean? Could a deal be done, a swap deal done with Thomas Partey coming in the other direction? It makes perfect sense. We want this guy. He's been a #1 target for Arsenal for a very long time. But of course, he's got this whopping £45 million release clause on his head. You know, Athletico are interested in one of our players who plays in the same position. We want their player who plays in that position. Surely some sort of deal can be done. And it's going to be down to the willingness of both parties, really. Athletico, they want cash for Partey. Arsenal want cash for Torreira. There's got to be a meeting down the middle to sort this out. The art of the deal, as Donald Trump would say. Something needs to be sorted out on this. And will it be a swap deal with, say, Torreira going to Athletico Madrid plus cash, with Thomas Partey coming back the other way? Seems to make perfect sense. A lot of things do always make perfect sense. Whether they end up being that way is another matter, but it's got fans excited. I'm going to ask a question today in the poll. Do you think Arsenal will get Thomas Partey? It's the player that we've been looking at for a long time. It was even coming into the transfer window, it was the player that every sort of Arsenal fan knew about because it was kind of, you know, really well known out there that is Arsenal's #1 target. I'm not sure if he's #1 now. I still think Houssem Aouar is probably more the #1 target. But Arsenal we know hold a big interest in Thomas Partey, one of the players they want to get. Arteta said they're not finishing the transfer window. If they're interested in Torreira, it makes perfect sense to try and get some sort of swap deal sorted out. But it's not going to be an easy deal to be done. Let's keep our eyes on it. It's going to be exciting on this one. As I said, the window 2 weeks ago. And remember, you've got the clubs over in Italy that also want him as well. Problem is, at the moment, nobody is looking to pay big money. I saw a report yesterday by the AST on Arsenal's finances, for instance, and Arsenal's finances are in a very poor state with lots of losses at the moment and lots of projected losses, and that's why Arsenal are looking to spend big at all at the moment, because the projected losses, if this lockdown of fans continues, is going to be horrendous come next season. But could a swap deal make sense? Let's keep our eyes and see how that one works out. There's other players linked with a move out. Socrates could be on his way out this week. Napoli, we know, have been very interested in him. It's probably going to involve Arsenal cancelling his deal and not taking a fee. And Koulibaly leaving from Napoli and heading out, of course, to Manchester City. We're going to have to keep an eye on that one, but it does look like Socrates, he's been left out of all these teams, and normally he would definitely be in there as a backup. So they're trying to protect him because he's going to be on his way out, and it could be this week. And then there's also Mustafi. He's also been linked with Napoli as well as Lazio over there in Italy. Both of those clubs said to be really interested in his signature. Arsenal said to be looking for around about £11 million for the 28-year-old. A far cry from the 35 million that we paid for him, but that was quite a few years ago. Obviously, his value has dropped. He has had a bit of a, well, not the greatest of times since he's been at Arsenal. But obviously, we know there's just so many centre-backs at the moment. Arsenal need to get rid of some of them, and they said to be very willing to sell Mustafi. Selling players is vital to Arsenal right now. They need to sell these players to try and raise the funds to be able to get deals for Partey, Aouar, and those sort of targets done. But it looks like Mustafi, they want to get him off the books. He's linked with a move away as well, as is Callum Chambers. Callum Chambers, you know what? Callum Chambers was playing very well for Arsenal under Emery. He's one of the very few defenders that could hold his head up under Emery. He played well. He was being switched around, sometimes having to play on the right-hand side, right back. Then he was having to play as a centre-back. But he was always pretty consistent, I thought, until he got that injury. And he's been out for ages. He's on the road to recovery right now. Newcastle said to be interested in a loan move for Callum Chambers. As I said, he's had a long-term injury. It would make perfect sense for him to go out on loan. I think it's going to be very difficult to sell him. There has been talk of Fulham being interested in him as well. He was on loan at Fulham previously and, played very, very well for them when they was in the Premier League, got their player of the season. But could he be on his way out on a loan move? Lots of talk of him going, there's lots of talk still of Rob Holding going out on a loan move. Linked with loan move today to West Ham. Previously was linked with a move to Newcastle. That was Arsenal did a U-turn on that one. Could he be on his way to West Ham? Again, we've got a lot of centre-backs and, way too many centre-backs, and we need to get rid of some of those centre-backs. Could Rob Holding be one of those sacrifices? It does look like Mikel Arteta does like him and maybe wouldn't be willing to send him out on loan. He did a U-turn on the Newcastle loan. But could that have just been because they're trying to get Saliba ready? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see actually how Saliba plays, because I would think that Saliba will come into the team to play against Leicester. It would make perfect sense for him to get, even if he doesn't start, to play at least maybe a half or some football in that game, William Saliba. But certainly we've got a lot of centre-backs at the moment. Pablo Mari's still got to come back, remember, and Luiz has just come back. So I think we'll keep 5, but obviously a few of those centre-backs need to be moved out, and Rob Holding could be one of them. Now, what about Alexander Lacazette? Mikel Arteta was questioned about Lacazette and the fact that he hasn't yet entered into any negotiations around his contract. His contract expires in 2022. He's been playing very well so far at the start of this season. 2 goals in 2 games for Lacazette. So he's doing the job on the pitch. And Arteta was asked about the contract, and Arteta's response was, "He's a player I'm really happy with. I think we've shown him a lot of faith since I arrived here, but we cannot start any speculation." He says, "We know that any player who's under 2 years of their contract is always going to be talked about. At the moment, we haven't started any negotiations. We have a lot of things to do in this transfer market, and at the moment, we are focusing on these things." So Mikel Arteta there, sort of, not ringing any alarm bells, just saying to people, chill out. We'll get it done. We don't need to talk to him yet. He's happy. We're happy. We've got other things to do in the transfer market, and that will sort itself out. So I'm pretty relaxed with that. You can see that Lacazette is happy at Arsenal, and he's banging in the goals. And that's the main thing we want, is we want our striker banging in the goals. So good that that's all fine at the moment. However, Torreira, Partey, swap deal makes perfect sense. Will it happen? I want you to vote in our poll today. As I said, the app is free to download. Download it now and vote in our poll. What do you guys reckon? Do you think we will get Thomas Partey in this transfer window? Let me know. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll be back tomorrow. It's Robbie here from AFTV. Don't forget to check out AFTV on Flick for all the latest transfer rumours, for all the information on Arsenal, for all the information on AFTV. You can check me there for Q&As on a regular basis. The link is in the description. It is free to download. Download it right now.